This is part 1 of how to crochet a magic angel. To make this pattern, you'll need a size I hook, 5.5 millimeter, and worsted weight yarn. You can pretty much use just about any worsted weight yarn you want to use. I have an assortment that I'm using here today of different ones. You can see that they all come out pretty much the same. To begin the pattern, we need to make a magic circle or a magic ring, whichever you call it. To make the magic circle, begin with your working yarn on the palm side of your hand and the tail going away from your fingers. With the yarn in front of your fingers, wrap it over one time and again, and hold the tail secure. Give yourself a nice amount of slack in that loop, because otherwise it's going to pull really tight when you pull the loop through. Insert the hook under the first loop and grab the working yarn. Pull it through. Yarn over with the working yarn again. And when you do this, you might want to turn your hook upwards like this, because otherwise it's going to make your loop slide way up here and it's going to be really hard to do. So turn your hook this way and pull up a loop. And what you have here is your magic circle. Now to begin the pattern, it starts with a half double crochet. So usually for a half double crochet you would chain 2, but the beginning of the magic circle makes this little base loop right here. And it puts some height on the stitch, so you don't need to chain 2, just chain 1. And make 5 half double crochet in the ring. Counting the beginning chain, you'll have a total of 6. So that's 3, 4, and 5, plus the beginning chain. You can pull your circle tight. And this isn't going to be flat, it's going to be cup-shaped. So don't worry if it's not flat, it's supposed to be that way. Find your beginning chain, the top of it, join with a slip stitch. And that is the beginning of the head. Now to start round 2, you'll chain 2 for a half double crochet. And you're going to make a half double crochet in each stitch of the round. And if you notice, I made my first half double crochet in the very first stitch. And this is because if you do that, it's going to eliminate the gap between rounds. What you do is you skip the very last stitch. Since you worked into the first stitch. And when you join with a slip stitch, you'll notice it pulls the gap out from in between the stitches. So no gap there. To begin round 3, you're going to chain 4 and then slip stitch in the same stitch. And that makes a little chain 4 loop here. slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 4, and slip stitch in the same stitch. And you're just going to keep doing that around, slip stitch into the next stitch and chain 4, and then slip stitch in the same stitch, and that's going to make a total of 6 of these chain 4 loops. Don't forget to slip stitch in the next stitch before you begin the chain. I always forget to do that and wind up pulling the pattern back apart. So this is number 5 that we're on here. Chain 4, slip stitch, and one more. Oops. Chain 4, and slip stitch in the same stitch. We don't have to join here because in the next round we'll be working right into that chain 4 loop. So you should have a total of 6 chain 4 loops, and it's not going to be flat, it's going to curve and have this little cup to it. That's the head of your angel. Okay?